What's going on, guys? Datcoopguy here, and today we're going to be jumping into a Bone Spear build for the Necromancer. Everybody's been ranting and raving about how good this build is, and I was like, okay, you know what? I'll give it a shot, and I'll add a couple of my own twists in the mix. So I jumped in, I tried it out, and boy oh boy, it is really good. I see why everybody's ranting and raving about it. I'm surprised that it hasn't been nerfed. Probably will get hit with the nerf bat once live comes out, but hey, let's check it out in the meantime before the inevitable nerf happens. So, first things first, when jumping into the build, you're going to want to pick up Bone Splinters. Just a nice little cone-based AoE attack that makes it to where you get a good amount of essence built up and makes it to where it does a decent amount of damage. From there, you're going to want to get Enhanced Bone Splinters, as this has a chance to give you 25% additional projectiles if you have 50 or more essence. And then from there, you're going to get Initiate Bone Splinters, which makes it to where they have a high chance of getting vulnerable, making it to where they take 20% more damage. And why do we need more damage? Because of Bone Spear. This boy hits like a truck. It hits so damn hard. You're going to want to put 5 points into that. It's a powerful ability. Hits super duper hard. Then from there, you're going to have it to where it has a chance to break into 3 shards and deals 90 damage each. And on top of that, we're going to make him vulnerable, because why not? Just more damage. From there, you're going to skip on down here, and you're going to pick up Corpse Explosion. We'll get into why you're going to pick up this ability soon, but it does just a massive amounts of damage, which is super nice. From there, you're going to make it to where it has increased radius, where it hits multiple targets even farther, and we're going to have it to where it does more damage with vulnerable. All combos really nicely together. But the real reason we're picking up Corpse Explosion is for Grim Harvest. You're going to put 3 points into it, as anytime you consume a corpse, which Corpse Explosion definitely does, gives you 9 essence, giving you a lot of essence really quickly so that you can do more Bone Spears. Now, from there, you're actually going to skip this section completely altogether, and you're going to come down here. Now, there is 2 different ways that you can modify this build. This is the non-minion version. If you do the non-minion version, you're going to want to pick up Corpse Tendrils. This allows it to where you can pull all the targets into one spot, allowing it to where they're stunned and taking us some additional damage. From there, you're going to enhance it to where they have a 50% slow, and they are vulnerable. All combos together. And then your last point, you can just kind of put it right here, making it to where you deal additional crit. Now, I know I just talked about how we sacrifice the minions, so let's talk about what you're going to do with those sacrifice minions. You're going to make it to where you have just 5% additional crit. Flat off, right on the top. Skeletal mages, you're going to make it to where you deal an additional 15% damage to vulnerable enemies. All of our abilities revolve around that, pretty much going to be locked in on that. Now, if in the event that you want to do minions a little bit there, what I suggest is going over here, putting 3 points into that, making it to where they do additional damage, and then just putting either 1 point into that, or you could switch it up, only put 1 point in there, and put 2 points in here. So that way that when you are at 100% essence, you make an additional 15% crit, which partnered up with everything all together, you do some pretty good damage altogether. So, it's really up to you how you want to do that. Once we get into higher levels, we'll really be able to metagame and tell you exactly how to put your points. You can also get Bone Spear instead. So put my 2 points here, and then you can get Bone Prison, and you can hold them in place while you're sitting there chucking your spears at it. It's really up to you how exactly you want to do that. So there's a minion build, and then there's a non-minion build. Preferably, I like the non-minion build, as this seems to do a lot of freaking damage. So without further ado, let's jump into combat and see how it is in action. So without further ado, let's jump into some combat here. We're going to try and see if I can find myself an elite. Well, I don't see any elite, but first things first, we'll sit there and do some attack there. Have it to where they pull them on there. Corpse Explosion right on top of them. And Bone Spear. Very powerful. So as you can see there, what I did is I just popped my good old Corpse Tendrils in there. Did a nice Corpse Explosion, and then chucked a big old spear on them. Go over here real quick to do that. And then we'll pop a nice little 3 there. and spam our good old ability there. And like that, dead super duper quickly. But yeah, that's basically how you do the Bone Spear build. Just pull them in, deal some massive damage. Oh, we got some more enemies. I might as well actually, a little bonus episode here. That's nice little, that's. And look at that, we're just absolutely mopping them here. We're gonna do that ability here to pull them in, deal some corpse explosions here, and hit them like a truck. And there you have it. We just took down 2 elites there, multiple different mob packs, absolutely owning them. So let's talk about the general tips of the class. So basically, in the beginning, you're gonna want to kill something, whatever you can kill. Then you're going to hit corpse tendrils, pulling them in place, keeping them in a nice little tight area. From there, you're just going to spam corpse explosion while they are stunned. While doing that, you're going to do bone spear, hitting them for massive amounts of damage, and with good old bone splinters to just basically generate everything out there. With having those combinations, you have them held in place, you do some massive AoE based damage, and then they're all vulnerable, taking a lot of extra damage, hitting them with a truck like with bone spear, and basically they're dead. Now this build is not very tanky, it has a little bit of a low survivability rate, but you're doing so much damage that you're able to just absolutely destroy things. On top of that, it is kind of a boss buster. You use this on a boss and you're going to be doing massive amounts of damage just in general. So that's something to really take into mind, as you can dodge a lot of their telegraph's attacks, and then you can just use your bone splinters to build up the abilities, and then you just spam bone spear on them, doing crazy amounts of damage, just absolutely destroying their health bar and getting those health potions that you preciously would need if in the event that you do happen to get hit. Anyways, guys, I thank you guys for watching. This was kind of like a last minute impromptu video, as I didn't even know much about the Bone Spear build, but I wanted to give you guys a little taste of the action there. This build gets super duper strong later on, so as you build up, this is actually going to be even one of the best builds out there, and that's why everybody's been running it. So I highly recommend that you guys check it out and check out some of my other videos. I've been trying to get all the classes done, or at least up to level 20 right now, to show you guys all the early leveling guides, and then once time goes on, I will be able to show you mid and end game builds. Anyways, thank you guys for watching. See you guys next time.